Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search Alternative Rewind, and listen now. Try something new for 2024. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
Catch the high-flying superstars as they compete for supremacy in the ring. It's Friday Night SmackDown at 8 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. AM 1300 The Zone is KBET Austin. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music. Free never sounded so good.
Okay. Oh, and then, you know I loved you.
Good morning, Austin, K-Town, Pflugerville, Texas, or wherever you may be listening. This is the Hardge Knocks Life on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. On today's show, the coaching carousel has some names that are staying put. Coach Saban speaks and Coach Sark tweets. Wildcard weekend is here, and we want to know who you like. Rematches and reuniting is going on right now, but guess what? It's win or go home. The NFL players voted on some who was considered to be the best, but they left out one name, and I love it because it's motivation for the weekend. Coach Rodney Terry and Dylan Dessous spoke with the media yesterday as they get ready for their matchup this weekend, and we will talk to you all about it. I'm your host, Mike Hardball Hardge, and sitting in with me, as she every day does, is Shannon B. Sweeney. But you know her as Salty. What up, Salty?
Good morning. It's Friday.
It is Friday.
It is Friday.
That's right.
We're in the studio today. Hardge, there's a chance we will be at home on Monday.
Yes, we will be working, but we will be working.
Yeah, there is a
home.
show.
There will be a show on Monday.
So tune in on your holiday, and if you sleep in, hit up the podcast.
Exactly. As we have always tried to tell you to be a part of the show, and we would love for you to be a part of the show. All you got to do is you can send us a text message to the Hardge Knocks Life. You type in the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard message and data rates may apply. That's the word Texas, followed by your message. Don't push Texas, then send, and then try to send us another message. All we're going to see is Texas, and we're going to yell back, fight. That's all we're going to be able to do. That's all we're going to be able to do. But just type the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. Salty, there was a lot of news that came out of the 40 acres and across the football world, whether it was NFL or whether it was college. But we have been listening to all these players make their announcement that they were either going to the NFL or coming back. And yet we got the news that one Quinn Ewers, QB1, was coming back. And the thing about it was, we had been talking about it the entire time. We kept saying we've heard all the speculation, and this was going back to when he got injured.
Yep.
Everybody was trying to figure out, he was projected this, he was projected that. Then he ended up getting hurt, and all the projections kind of changed. But Quinn Ewers had a really good year. Now, if he makes one different throw, people are probably talking about him in another light, and he may be going to the NFL. We don't even know what could have happened if Texas would have been playing for the national championship. A lot of things changed during that time. But we were waiting to hear from Quinn, and I thought yesterday the way that he did this was pretty doggone cool. The other way, and we'll talk about it when we come back, let's listen to Quinn and making his announcement.
Dear Longhorn Nation, ever since I was a kid, I've dreamed of playing quarterback at the University of Texas. I couldn't be more thankful to all my teammates and coaches, and I'm beyond grateful to be in the position that I'm in. God has shown me who I truly am these past 2 years that I've been here. And through the ups and downs, these fans and this university has always had my back. And with that being said, I'm coming back. Hook 'em.
That was pretty cool. And the fact that he signed the card. And so the question is, everybody kept asking, will he get more money for his signed card saying I'm coming back than Arch Manning did when he auctioned off his card? That's where everybody always wants to go. But the fact of the matter is, We have QB1 back
Yeah.
on campus.
For the card question, I think it depends on when you saw it. And for those that haven't seen it, obviously it sounds very cinematic. It looked very cinematic, maybe why it took so long to get out there. But he's sitting in a chair in a dark room and he's writing in his notebook. And then you see the card and he's signing it, saying I'm back. And then he shows it to the camera. And that's when we get the hook 'em. A lot of people are already putting his name up for Heisman hopeful.
Yep.
And so that
Rightfully
card,
so.
I would save that card and sell it maybe after.
Yeah.
Because if you win, I think then yes, you get more than Arch Manning.
Yeah. And I wonder how many did he sign? That's the other part of it too.
Yeah.
Because, as someone who's signed cards before, you signed multiple cards.
Okay.
But in this, it looked like it was a planned situation because they left the space open on the card for him to go out there and write, I'm coming back and all this other stuff. So it's a really, really cool video. And like you said, it's very cinematic to what's going on. But also on the 40 acres yesterday, or a little bit late last night, there was some scuttle that Coach Sark was becoming the favorite to go to Tuscaloosa after Dan Lanning made the announcement yesterday that he was staying in Eugene, Oregon, and coaching the Oregon Ducks because he said, we got to finish some things off. We're not done yet, and you got to finish what you start. So all that's going on. So everybody starts thinking, oh, my God, what about Coach Sark? Oh, my God, what about Coach Sark? Is this going to be – are we losing him? Are we losing him? Relax, folks. Coach Sark tweeted out yesterday, hey, it's a great day to be a Longhorn. And that was great. Everything was good with that until Miss L'Oreal posted herself. She posted the hook 'em in a heart. So she understood the assignment. And Coach Sark and Miss L'Oreal will be still here at the 40 acres representing the University of Texas.
You can't tell me that Alabama is a better job than Texas on any day of the week. I don't care if Texas is the worst team in the country. You live in Austin, Texas, baby.
Yeah, but he's there.
You got the history. You got the resources. You've been winning.
Yep.
And now is not the time.
And you're going to the same conference now.
Yes, and you're beloved. I mean, you got everything you need here and more because I've been seeing the memes. People are like, Chris Del Conte going to back up that Brinks truck to his house because we hear he's getting a new contract.
Maybe that's what happened.
Maybe the new contract has been signed. The new deal has been done. The extension has been made. I never saw him. I was never worried.
Yeah, and because you're smart.
I am smart.
You're so smart. You're so smart. Yeah, it's just kind of like the same story about the Arch Manning deal. The first thing that came out yesterday. Soon as Quinn said he was coming back, everybody was like, well, what about Arch? Is Arch going to get in the portal?
Into the portal.
Everybody's in the portal. No, they're not. I mean, just understand there's a process to it all. And even if Arch were to leave, what's to guarantee that he's going to be the starting quarterback at the other school that he goes to?
Right.
Because there's a lot of people that continue to think, oh, I don't think he's really that good until you try to get him in the portal. Until your team is out there looking for him in the portal. And now all of a sudden everybody wants him. Yeah, so you're sitting there and looking at this and saying the Texas Longhorn football team is in a great, great place. You get your starting quarterback back. You get your head coach back. And now you're bringing in some other people to help solidify, whether it's the offensive, defensive lines, the things that you need to continue to grow and put yourself in that category. As we talked about yesterday, and we'll get into the conversation a little bit more, Texas' way too early prediction is they're ranked number 2 or 3 in the college football polls. We have the playoff system that are now in play.
There are 2 or 3 Hardge, except for one coach who happened to rank them as number 6.
Yeah.
Behind the Floridas and the Alabamas.
And let's just say it's okay, cool, hook 'em. That coach, Mr. Double Birds himself, decided that
Mr. Hom Turman.
Yeah, he decided that, they're the 6th best team in the nation. I don't know which football you've been watching, Tom, but
he probably didn't. He got to go on vacation very early this year.
This is a really good football team. This was a damn good football team that went out there and played at a very high level, finished the season 12-2, my brother. So you might want to put some respect on their name and give them a little bit more credit. Now we'll really get to see it. Texas is going to the SEC. No Nick Saban. There's reports that Kirby Smart's name is being thrown around to possibly being the new coach.
Can't beat him, join him.
Yeah, exactly. That might be the new coach with the Atlanta Falcons. So that rumor is out there. There's so much happening. This is going to be an exciting offseason. Everybody continues to say, man, what are y'all going to talk about? In case you don't know, now you know. There will always be a conversation happening right here on the Hardge Knocks Life on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. We're just getting started, folks.
Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. Longhorns basketball plays here.
Up top on the right side, Cunningham rifles a pass to the baseline to Tyrese Hunter. Hunter back to Cunningham. Clean look at the three. Fires it and drains it. Longhorns. Hunter has it. Lobbing it in for Mitchell, and Dillon slams it down. Longhorns have it in transition. Coming to the right side, pass into Mitchell. A slam dunk. A no-look feed from Max Asmus.
Longhorns basketball plays here. Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Austin traffic powered by the Sandy Show on 103.1, Austin's 80s station.
360 northbound at Westlake, the right turn lane blocked still with road construction. I-35, the frontage road. Northbound at Howard, we have a disabled vehicle off to the right shoulder. I'm Ty Holt with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. At Progressive, they're making things even easier. They'll help you bundle your home and car insurance together so you can save on both. Learn more at progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. That's progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
You're working really hard and you got a lot of pride. We're all in this together for a long, long ride. You can depend on us, we're tried and we're true. Henna Chevrolet, we'll always stand by you.
Henna Chevrolet has been an Austin original for over 80 years, and we've been treating customers right and saving them some serious money since the beginning. Come find new roads at HennaChevyAustin.com.
Hey, are you a whiskey lover? If so, you have to try the new Keeper's Heart whiskey. Keeper's Heart is one of the first to blend Irish and American whiskey, and it's really good. So good, in fact. Keeper's Heart has been recognized as one of the world's best whiskeys for the way it brings together the boldness of American whiskey with the smoothness of Irish whiskey. It's the perfect matchup. Keeper's Heart is a legend in the making. Trust us, you gotta try it. Drink responsibly.
DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL playoffs, is bringing you an offer that will help make the playoffs electrifying. New customers can bet $5 on any game and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Get started. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the promo code Patrick. New customers can bet just $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with the code Patrick. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/football for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources.
You know, in today's world, it seems like the best treatment is reserved for only a few. Well, Discover wants to change all of that by making everyone feel special. That's why with your Discover card, you have access to 24/7 live customer service as well as $0 fraud liability. That means you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases. Finally, no matter who you are or where you are in your life, you'll feel special with Discover. You can learn more at discover.com/credit card. Limitations do apply.
Time is running out for unheard of savings on a truck or SUV at Steel GMC in Round Rock. Hi, I'm Steve David, General Manager of Steel GMC in Round Rock. This is the last call for these weather-related tremendous discounts on a new GMC. These thousands of additional savings on new 23 and 24 Sierras, Acadias, and Terrains that can only be found at Steel GMC. This creates an incredible buying opportunity for you at Steel GMC in Round Rock. But your time is running out. Tens of thousands in savings are waiting for you. The damage varies, but the adjusters have made extremely generous discounts on everything. Nowhere will you find savings like this on a new GMC. It's last call for additional thousands of discounts. Get a real deal from Steel for this incredible buying opportunity.
Shoppers first or shoppers last. Get a real deal from Steel.
We are professional grade.
Shopping, decorating, cooking. If there wasn't enough break in your holiday break, Kentucky Fried Chicken invites you to let them do the cooking for a change. For $20, you can get a real taste of KFC meal. 6 pieces of original recipe chicken, 4 sides, and 4 buttery biscuits. All that for just $20. KFC, it's finger licking good. Prices may vary. Available at select participating locations only. Sides limited to mashed potatoes and gravy, coleslaw, mac and cheese, and corn. Tax, tips, and fees extra.
Hey, it's Jonas Knox. Did you know that some ordinary cold medicines can raise your blood pressure? That's why DayQuil High Blood Pressure is specially formulated to provide cold and flu symptom relief without ingredients like sugar, alcohol, and decongestants. Just 1 dose of DayQuil High Blood Pressure starts working fast to relieve your worst cold and flu symptoms so you can power through your day. If you have high blood pressure and need daytime relief from your cold and flu symptoms, use DayQuil High Blood Pressure. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
Mike Hardge here, and I want to talk to you about my friends over at Cover 3. I'm a regular at Cover 3, and you want to know why? Because their happy hour hits so hard Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m., and they have deals on shareables and drinks. Get to a Cover 3 near you.
Be prepared for the winter storm season with a Generac generator or a backup battery system from Divided Sky Roofing and Solar. Don't wait until it's too late. Get all the information you need on it at mydividedsky.com. That's mydividedsky.com.
You're listening to Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to the Hardge Knocks Live right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. It's your boy Hardball Hardge, Shannon B. Sweeney, as always, kicking it with me. And you know what? We are sitting sideways. This is a big-time weekend in H-Town. That's right. We're going to have some H-Town theme that will be going on coming up in hour number 2. I got my man Stan Norfleet of the radio station down there, our sister station in H-Town. He'll be joining us to talk about the Texans and the Browns. But this is a big weekend, wild card weekend. This is the fun weekend of football. If your team just happens to be playing this weekend. If not, then I'm sorry for you. But this weekend, our Dallas Cowboys get a chance to play against the Green Bay Packers. And as I said in the opening, there is a lot of reuniting and some rematches of a bunch of different games, and people are having homecoming games, so to speak, across the football landscape of the NFL. And we posed the question out there, Salty, for the people. If you go to our AM 1300 The Zone page on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, we posed the question out there. There's a lot that is happening, but a lot of it has to do with cold weather. You heard Salty say, hey, we may be working from home on Monday. Yeah, we're planning on it. We're planning on it. But the weather is going to be rough, but not as rough as in Buffalo and Kansas City.
Yeah. So today we're asking, instead of like silly question like who's gonna win or something, something trivial like that, Hardge. We're asking you which game is going to be the most miserable to attend based on weather. And we've got Steelers at the Bills. High at the start of the game is expected to be around 24 degrees, but winds throughout the game could get up to 50 miles per hour, and there's possible snowfall throughout the game. And then you have Dolphins at Chiefs, which we've discussed a little bit. At one point, it could get to 0 degrees. It should start at about 14 for you, but their wind's not as bad, up to 20 miles per hour. I know the Bills are there. They've had those talks of, are they going to get a new stadium? Are they going to maybe move? That new stadium needs to be indoors.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I think if you live in the North or you play a sport that is in the North and you play during the fall and winter time, you must have a dome.
Yeah.
There's no,
domes didn't exist when they first built these, Hardge.
This
It's like
is
the Coliseum.
football weather. No, it's not. Why? That is the dumbest statement
That's
ever.
horrible.
Oh man, this feels like football weather. No, it feels like frostbite.
Yeah. Right now, Hardge, Dolphins at Chiefs leading the way with 63% of the vote. Does one of those sound worse to you than the other? They're both bad.
They're awful.
We know that. We're just asking if you were forced to go to one of these games, which one would be the worst?
I would have to say Buffalo because it's further up.
I'd say Buffalo too, because I'd also
and it's coming off the water.
I'd also take into consideration the game itself, but Bills are favored by what, 10.5? That's not a playoff game.
It doesn't seem that.
So not only are you sitting there during a bad game, you're also freezing and the wind chill whipping at your face.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't look like a lot of fun to me. And I was just, there's a post that came up just now and it said the wind chill on Saturday night will be dangerously cold, and that is per the National Weather Service. It is expected to get the wind chill to a negative 30 degrees.
Yeah, and it's going to be cold here in Texas. It's going to be cold in Dallas. I'm still debating whether or not I'll be going up just to kind of be around the action and celebrate the Cowboys playoff game. That'll probably wait till like a Saturday night decision because it is going to be so cold. But Dallas, they at least have the dome, Hard.
Yeah, I hope make that decision for you. You don't need to go out there if you're going to try to go out there and just to chill. I mean, if you're not going to the game, where, by the way, that's indoors. If you're not going to the game, I wouldn't be able to.
Ticket prices have come down.
Of course, nobody wants to be a part of that. So there's a big matchups. Those two of those matchups that will be happening this weekend. But on Saturday, we start with the Cleveland Browns taking on the Houston Texans. The Cleveland Browns are favored by 2. The over-under is 44.5. As I said, we're going to be talking to my man Stan Norfleet here in the next hour to talk specifically about this game. As a matter of fact, it'll be exactly 1 hour from now. We will be talking to him. And to me, this is going to be one of those matchups of who can take care of the football. The last time these two teams met, C.J. Stroud was not a participant. A couple of their defensive players, Will Anderson Jr., didn't play as well. So Joe Flacco was able to go out there and put up record numbers. This was a game that CeeDee Lamb really got busy as well. So, I mean, not CeeDee Lamb, sorry, Amari Cooper. He really got busy in that game. So this is a huge test for the Houston Texans. I'm really excited to see about DeMeco Ryan and Kevin Stefanski going against each other, offensive-minded coach versus a defensive-minded coach. How do they scheme against each other? I think that's going to be an amazing, amazing matchup. We also want to talk about, just like we did, the Dolphins and the Chiefs. The Chiefs are favored by 4.5. We just went through those crazy numbers throughout this deal. But the game that we're all going to be talking about, it comes on Sunday. You were the one that was just talking about bringing it up about how you possibly could be up there for the atmosphere and just kind of kicking it. But the Packers and the Dallas Cowboys, 3:30 on Fox on Sunday. Huge, huge matchup for so many reasons. But the big question right now, Mike McCarthy playing against his old team, and the biggest question has been about pressure, right? Mike McCarthy dealing with this pressure because the rumors are out there. Bill Belichick's name has been linked to the Dallas Cowboys already. And if Mike McCarthy gets eliminated by his old team in game 1 of the playoffs,
again,
is this the end for Mike McCarthy? We talked about how many games he's won. We talked about what he's brought to this team. But is there pressure on Mike McCarthy? And he was asked that yesterday during his press conference.
Oh, it's opportunity. Yeah, I don't know why we're on this pressure kick today. But yeah, I mean, it's a football game. It's a very important football game. You know, we've done the things necessary to be in this position. So to me, the home and all that stuff is, it really it's nice. It really is part of the training component of it. But when we get there, Sunday afternoon, we're gonna kick it off, cross the white lines, and go get it. So, and that's really where we are. So yeah, it's all about an excellent opportunity that we prepared ourselves and we put ourselves in this position, and we earned it, deserved it, and most importantly, we're gonna take advantage of it.
They better, because this is a crucial time for the Dallas Cowboys. Everybody said it. This is where you have to put it all on the line right now. This is it. There is no going back. There is no, hey, well, you get a participation trophy.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't it. You got one of the best quarterbacks in the league, numbers-wise. I know a lot of people don't like Dak Prescott. I'm still riding with him, going to continue to ride with him. And by the way, folks, he's going to get an extension. Just get prepared for it. Lose your mind. Get all your tweets ready. Get all your anger management program. Yeah, get all that out there, because guess what? He's going to get paid. You got the top wide receiver, all-pro type levels by CeeDee Lamb. You got Micah Parsons, who is motivated because they came out with the players' vote of all the top players in the NFL, and Micah Parsons was not listed on the defensive side of the ball. Now, this is a motivated man who takes a lot of pride, and this is somebody that is up for Defensive Player of the Year. And here he is, not being by his peers now. And that's the other part of it. It's by his peers that didn't vote for him. Now he's a man that is possessed. And Mike McCarthy, he has a lot of pressure that is on him. He said, is it pressure or opportunity? He took the opportunity. I say it's pressure because you're going up against your old team. Aaron Rodgers is not on that sideline. Everybody was talking about Jordan Love. Is he that level of quarterback? Well, he's proven to get his team into the playoffs with this 9-8 record. They were able to get into the playoffs. But for me, this is all about what your defense can do and Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn's mind may be preoccupied. I'm sure he's getting an interview this weekend or today maybe. I think he might be interviewing with the Seattle Seahawks for their job opening. But right now, the moment, you have to seize it. And that's the shirts that they're selling right now too.
Oh, is Dak choosing to wear one of those though? Because he didn't want to wear the NFC East Championship hat. He says he's trying to look forward. I feel like this is the present.
This is the present. It is a gift of a present that you were sitting here looking at. So to me, you're looking at it and you're saying, okay, is it pressure or opportunity? It can be a combination of both, but I'm looking at it more as a pressure situation for Mike McCarthy.
I mean, he said at the end of that clip, take advantage of it. Take advantage of the fact that you've got a Micah Parsons who is upset. Take advantage of the fact that there are plenty of doubters out there. You had a lot of close games close out the end of the season. That came down to clock management. Hey, Mike, if you get a big lead, clock management will matter less and less.
Yes.
It's one of those things of winning changes a lot. Winning by a lot of points changes a lot because you can kind of relax, take advantage of the moment, take advantage of Dak playing his best that he's ever really played in his entire career, that he's up for that contract extension, that he was in the MVP conversation at one point.
Still is.
That you get the opportunity to play against your former team and right the wrongs of playoffs past.
Yep.
Take advantage of it.
And I'm sitting here looking at the line. The line has come down to 7 points. Dallas Cowboys are favored by 7. Over under is 50.5. CeeDee Lamb, Tony Pollard, who we've been having a lot of conversation about as well, about the disappointment of the way he ran the football this year. Well, he got over 1,000 yards, which is kind of interesting, especially because he didn't seem to be that effective this year. Oh, but they added one more game, so that helped him get over those 100 yards. They got another one. He got 1,005 with 6 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb, 135 receptions, 1,749 yards, and 12 TDs. This was a huge, huge year for the Dallas Cowboys offense. The one that everybody thought was going to struggle after Kellen Moore left. They didn't know what Mike McCarthy was going to be able to handle. And we'll talk a little bit more about Dak Prescott and what he was able to do a little bit later in the show, especially because now you look at him and you say, wow, he does know this offense. He has taken control of it, and he looks more comfortable because Mike McCarthy saw what was happening last year. If you paid attention to it, anytime you see Dak Prescott take a 5 to 7 yard drop, he's going to get sacked. If he takes a 3 to 5 step drop, he can get the ball out of his hand quick enough and everything works in rhythm. But if he has to drop back 7 yards, there's not enough time for him to do that. And that's what Kellen Moore was having him do a lot last year.
Yeah, that conversation of he's the glue that keeps it all together. Dak can't do it without Kellen. Kellen can't do it without Dak. Well, now we know Kellen can't do it without Dak, and that Dak he's the one on the field.
Yep.
He's the one, and Mike McCarthy has done well with him since. So, as much as I think at that time we were like, oh no, Kellen, don't go. He can stay where he is, even though he probably won't get to.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a little bit of the Cowboys. We'll continue the conversation a little bit later as the games get ready to be played this weekend. Huge wild card weekend, and I'm just really, really excited about football, man. Everybody's thinking football's over. No. We are just getting started. When we come back, we'll have the Insider edition of the Hardge Knocks Live right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. Longhorns basketball plays here.
Goes up strong, reverse side. What a lay-in. Broccoli Hunter lobbing it in for Dylan Mitchell, who slams it down.
Naismith drives left side, kicks to Sue, the finish.
Here goes Hunter behind the back pass. In the Weaver, and the lays it in. Oh, goodness. What a way to close out the first half.
Longhorns basketball plays here. Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. Longhorns basketball plays here.
Pass picked off by Dylan Mitchell. Here is the Mitch driving in for a slam dunk. The circles for the right side. Asmus goes right around. Heyman puts it up. Missed it. Follow slam by Weaver. Boy, did he elevate into Weaver. Oh, my goodness. Into Mitchell, a slam dunk. A no-look feed.
Longhorns basketball plays here. Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Austin traffic powered by the Sandy Show on 103.1, Austin's 80 station.
360 northbound at Westlake, the right turn lane blocked still with road construction. I-35, the frontage road. Northbound at Howard, we have a disabled vehicle off to the right shoulder. I'm Ty Holt with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. At Progressive, they're making things even easier. They'll help you bundle your home and car insurance together so you can save on both. Learn more at progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. That's progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
It seems like everywhere you look right now, someone is sick. This year, prepare your family for airborne invaders like bacteria, pollen, and yes, germs with Navage Nasal Care. Navage flushes ultra-pure, refreshing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. Navage sucks out viruses, dust, and other airborne particles, all the stuff that gets trapped in your nose, making you miserable. Don't get caught empty-handed this winter. Get Navage, the drug-free solution that helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Even better, Navage is HSA, FSA eligible, so Navage is a great way to spend those funds before they expire. Don't wait a minute longer. Buy Navage today and you'll breathe easier knowing you're putting your funds to good use. Navage is available online at Navage.com or Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Looking for the perfect place to get a bite to eat before or after the game? Vaqueros Cafe and Cantina has you covered. With locations on 360 in Westlake or Quinlan Park Road in Steiner Ranch, both offer the perfect place to pregame or celebrate after the game. We use only the finest, freshest ingredients. Mouth-watering fajitas, fresh seafood, char-grilled oysters, and queso you'll want to eat by the gallon. Happy hour, dinner with family and friends, private events, Vaqueros Cafe and Cantina is the place. Visit vaqueroscafe.com. Tex-Mex done right.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. ramp.com/sports.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window, and we would like to manufacture and install your windows. Every single New South window is custom manufactured just for your home. Now you can buy 2 windows and get the third absolutely free.
Call 1-800-NEW-WINDOWS or visit newsouthwindow.com.
What if you could build a 6-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a 6-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Brett Kitchen, best-selling author and star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollars saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you're over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, The Baby Boomer Dilemma, at 1-800-506-2020. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you'll get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. I'll even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. So don't delay, call right now, 1-800-506-2020. That's 1-800-506-2020, 1-800-506-2020.
Ask Sherwin-Williams during the January winter sale, January 12th through the 22nd, and get 30% off paints and stains with prices starting at $31.14. That means 30% off our most popular color family, blue. Psychologists have found it to be soothing and relaxing, which makes it especially great for bedrooms and bathrooms. And of course, get 30% off all of our other colors. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Visit 12 Oaks Dental and have their team of dental health professionals show you how your overall health is affected by your teeth and gums. Schedule a new patient appointment today and get a complimentary bacteria test and consultation. Let 12 Oaks Dental give you a play-by-play about your teeth and total health, so you have a dental game plan before your next tailgate. 12 Oaks Dental will give you the winning smile you deserve. Book an appointment at 12oaksdental.com. 12 Oaks Dental, Austin's complete health dentist.
You're working really hard and you got a lot of pride. We're all in this together for a long, long ride. You can depend on us, we're tried and we're true. Here at Chevrolet, we'll always stand by you.
You won't find us trying to upsell you or confuse you with financial lingo. Our number one goal is your 100% satisfaction. For a better experience, you'll find new roads at HannahChevyAustin.com.
The Spurs back at the Frost Bank Center tonight take on the Hornets. Texans host the Browns tomorrow to open the AFC wildcard round. Defensive end Larry Hughes has been ruled out due to an ankle injury. DraftKings line has the Texans as 2-point dogs. Longhorns quarterback Quinn Ewers announced he's returning to Texas for his senior season. I'm Ronta Moss.
This is Katina Mobley. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
From the versatile EQB to the sublime EQS sedan, Mercedes-Benz makes electric extraordinary. The vehicles are all electric. The feeling is all Mercedes. The choice is all yours. Learn more at mbusa.com/EQ.
The Craig Way Show with the voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Hardge, you and I were talking about TikTok earlier this morning and that you might be jumping on it. We'll see. We'll let people know, obviously, if he does. But you missed out on this in 2020. I mean, this song had a dance that just blew up.
I think I knew the dance.
So, if you do, I mean, that could be your first TikTok.
No.
You'd be a little late to the game. But anyway, he doesn't have TikTok right now, but you can follow him everywhere else. Instagram, Twitter. He's on the Facebooks. He's on the LinkedIn's at Hardball Hardge, and you can hear him and see him every day right here on AM 1300 The Zone, 7 to 9 weekdays on the Hardge Knocks Life. But here it is now, our favorite segment, 740, the Hardge Knocks Life featured segment where he gives you whatever's on his mind. Get it off your chest, Hardge.
I got a lot on my chest right now. I got a lot to talk about. And matter of fact, we all have a lot to talk about because we have a poll question, another poll question that is out there that we want you to talk about. We've been doing this for quite some time now, and we want to make sure that we continue to do this for the great folks over at Covert Hutto. It's the best plays of the week on the Hardge Knocks Life. It's time for you to go over there and vote on this. Max Asmith's game winner against Cincinnati. Of course, that's exciting. Wemby getting his first triple-double against the Pistons, and Bijan Robinson's 71-yard TD reception against the Saints. Go over there and vote right now. Go to AM 1300 The Zone and cast your vote. In case you don't remember, Max Asmith's game winner against Cincinnati, Wemby getting his first triple-double against the Pistons, and Bijan Robinson's 71-yard TD reception against the Saints. Go over there and vote, and thanks to the great folks over at Covert Hutto. That's right. Get over there right now. They've been around since 1909. Think about that. 1909.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. All right, Salty. So this week has been about Nick Saban. I mean, Nick Saban, Bill Belichick. I know a lot of people want to talk about Belichick, but I want to talk about more about Nick Saban because his retirement pretty much came out of nowhere. This was something that we did not have on our agenda for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden the news starts breaking late in the afternoon that it was over for him. And I was just kind of like, well, why? Why? That's what inquiring minds want to know.
That's right.
Why?
Because it was not a mutual parting of ways.
It was not. This was because everybody, I mean, I've been watching clips of people losing their mind. He's the best coach ever. Best coach ever. And then I've seen videos about who they don't want as the head coach at Alabama, and we'll get into that in just a little bit as well. But Nick Saban sat down with Reese Davis of the Four Letter Network, and the question was asked about it. Hey, Nick, why now? What made you decide that it was time for you to step away? And his answers are pretty interesting.
Why did you decide that this was the right time to retire?
Well, I don't think there's any good time, especially when you're a coach, because once you're a coach, you think you're going to be a coach forever. But I actually thought that in hiring coaches, recruiting players, that my age started to become a little bit of an issue. People wanted assurances that I would be here for 3 years, 5 years, whatever, and it got harder and harder for me to be honest about. And to be honest, this last season was grueling. It was a real grind for us to come from where we started to where we got to. Took a little more out of me than usual, and when people mentioned the health issue, it was really just the grind of, can you do this the way you want to do it? Can you do it the way you've always done it and be able to sustain it and do it for the entire season? And if I couldn't make a commitment to do that in the future, the way I think I have to do it, I thought maybe this was the right time based on those two sets of circumstances that, like I said, there's never a good time. But I thought maybe this was the right time.
So there's no illness. It's just the grind and the gruel of the season.
Yeah, there's no illness. Miss Terry's fine. I'm fine. But it was can you sustain the season, from just a mental grind standpoint. And when I was young, I could work till 2 a.m, get up at 6 and be there the next day and be full of energy and go for it. But when you get a little older, that gets a little tougher, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that.
Yes, I can relate to that. I'm not 72, but my body makes me feel like I'm 82. So yes, I do understand, Coach Saban, why you would be that way. But here's the other part of this. As you continue to step away and you reflect, he went on to talk about the players. He loves the players and what can he do to help them. He's still going to be around. He told them he's still going to be around. He's going to have an office right there outside of the stadium where he can still get on the players' butts if he needs to, but they don't know who's going to be the successor. And I know somebody in just a minute that we're going to play for you that doesn't want a successor, and one particular successor. And Nick Saban went on to talk about how can you improve the college game? Where are some of the things that you see that need to be changed? And I came in this morning and I looked Salty dead in the face and I said, I believe that Nick Saban is going to try to be a commissioner, not of the SEC, but possibly of its own entity, which is college football. Now, we've talked about this, Power Fives, all these different conversations. So Nick was asked about that by Reese Davis.
Well, I don't know. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to research it. I don't know that anybody has the best solutions. There's a lot of issues right now relative to lawsuits and different things like that are impacting people's ability to make choices and decisions as to what the future really is. But eventually, we've got to have some kind of way that the players benefit, but they do it in some format that is equal to all of us at whatever university or college you're coaching at or playing at.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot that goes into this deal, and it is an interesting point of view when you start to think about how can you change college athletics. What is going on in the college athletic world? How can we make it better? He's all for the players. Don't get it twisted. He's for the players, but he wants to make it a better environment. And you got to put some boundaries on it. It's something that we've talked about numerous times. Like, okay, if they would have came out and put boundaries on this deal at the very beginning, I don't think people would have been upset about it.
Yeah.
It's now that everybody's looking at the haves and the have-nots. Now it's a problem. It's a problem when we do it. It's not a problem when you do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's in that new era of everything. But the biggest question now is who's going to replace Nick Saban as the head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide. We just heard Sark tweeted out, it's a great day to be a Longhorn. Miss L'Oreal tweeted out, hook them, and they're back at the University of Texas. Dan Lanning told his team he's not going there. And I told you this the other day. I put out there, Dabo watch. I said, Dabo. Well, somebody in Tuscaloosa does not want Dabo Swinney, and he let Paul Feinbaum know about it.
But I'm going to tell you, Greg Burns, if it's Dabo Swinney, I'm pouring gasoline on myself and setting myself on fire on the 50-yard line. You can guarantee it. If it's Dabo Swinney, I'm pouring my arm off and taking that contract fracture and beating the hell out of myself. No damn Dabo. Do you hear me, Greg Burns? That's from the Alabama nation. Get it right. You'll be judged on this one right here, brother. You'll be judged on this one right here. Man, Paul, I don't know, brother.
He was not happy. As a matter of fact, he's going to hit it with a contract fracture, not a compound fracture.
That's some Alabama for you right there.
Those folks are passionate down there in Alabama about their Crimson Tide, Roll Tide. They are fired up about it, and they do not want Dabo Swinney. Dabo Swinney now has become the favorite to be the new head coach at the Alabama Crimson Tide. Kalen DeBoer's name has been in there. There's a bunch of names that keep floating around, but right now, this is where they are.
Wouldn't you want the coach on the rise rather than on the decline? Because that's where Dabo seems to be, especially with Clemson still sitting in the ACC.
Well, here's the deal about Dabo. There was a rumor and scuttle about him possibly being the successor of Nick Saban a while back. Well, now the moment of truth is here. And does he pass it up and stay at Clemson, or does he go to Alabama and run there to help him? Don't forget, he was a former football player for the Alabama Crimson Tide too. So we'll see what happens here. When we come back, we're going to continue the conversations. We're going to talk about Rodney Terry and Dylan Dessou. We got a chance to talk to them as they get prepared for their basketball game this weekend. We'll talk about it right here on the Hardge Knocks Life on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. Longhorns basketball plays here.
Up top on the right side, Cunningham rifles the pass to the baseline to Tyrese Hunter. Hunter back to Cunningham. Clean look at the three. Fires it and drains it. Longhorns. Hunter has it. Lobbing it in for Mitchell, and Dillon slams it down. Longhorns have it in transition. Coming to the right side pass into Mitchell. A slam dunk. A no-look feed from Max Asmus.
Longhorns basketball plays here. Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Austin traffic powered by the Sandy Show on 103.1, Austin's 80 station.
I-35 southbound at 287. We do have road construction blocking one lane through that stretch. 360 northbound at Westlake. More road repairs. Long-term areas shut down with repairs. I'm Ty Holt with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. At Progressive, they're making things even easier. They'll help you bundle your home and car insurance together so you can save on both. Learn more at progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. That's progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Here's an interesting fact. The average human makes 35,000 decisions every single day. You don't need any more, so I'm going to help you when it comes to deciding where you're going to get your next car. It's an easy decision. You need to call Apple Leasing. The number is 346-9977. The website is appleleasing.com. Why Apple Leasing? Because they can get you any make, any model that you want. All you do is call them up and tell them what you're thinking about. Next thing you know, they'll call you back, tell you how much the payment's going to be, and you've got a brand new car. It really is easy. Plus, the car's under warranty. You don't have to worry about brakes. You don't have to worry about tires. There's just a lot of comfort in leasing a car. You should do it from Apple Leasing. The number, 346-9977. That's 346-9977. Call them today, trade in the car that you have, and get a brand new, under warranty, with the new car smell from Apple Leasing.
Looking for the perfect place to get a bite to eat before or after the game? Vaqueros Cafe and Cantina has you covered. With locations on 360 in Westlake or Quinlan Park Road in Steiner Ranch, both offer the perfect place to pregame or celebrate after the game. We use only the finest, freshest ingredients. Mouth-watering fajitas, fresh seafood, char-grilled oysters, and queso you'll want to eat by the gallon. Happy hour, dinner with family and friends, private events, Vaqueros Cafe and Cantina is the place. Visit vaqueroscafe.com. Tex-Mex done right.
Hey, it's Jonas Knox. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL playoffs, is bringing you an offer that'll help make the playoffs electrifying. New customers can bet $5 on any game and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code 2pros. New customers can bet just $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code 2pros. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/football for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources.
Mike Hardge here, and I want to talk to you about my friends over at Cover 3. I'm a regular at Cover 3, and you want to know why? Because their happy hour hits so hard Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m., and they have deals on shareables and drinks. Get to a Cover 3 near you.
Don't miss out on South by Southwest this March. Attend film screenings, conference programming, and music festival showcases. Earn your badge to attend by volunteering and join us for the world's largest gathering of creative professionals. Learn more about volunteering at sxsw.com/volunteer. Then attend one of the 2 volunteer calls on Sunday, January 21st and Monday, January 22nd at the Austin Convention Center. More info at sxsw.com/volunteer.
Did you know that solar energy gives you independence from utilities and helps keep your energy costs down? Why not get a free estimate with locally owned Divided Sky Roofing and Solar? You can get more information at mydividedsky.com. That's mydividedsky.com.
New year, new you, same great savings. Specs, the fun starts here.
Can't get enough football? Look no further than the Good Morning Football podcast. Join me, Jamie Erdahl, alongside Kyle Brandt, Peter Schrager, and Jason McCourty for a daily breakdown of the league's biggest stories.
We'll bring you everything between film breakdowns, matchup previews, and our impeccable game predictions. Get your football fix right here on the GMFB podcast.
We got recaps, retweets, and reactions to all the wild moments you might have missed on and off the field.
Make sure to listen to the Good Morning Football podcast every day on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
AM 1300 The Zone is KVET Austin. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music. Free never sounded so good. Texas basketball plays here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to the Hardge Knocks Life right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. We appreciate y'all tuning in. We got another hour coming up right around the corner, and we'll continue the conversations. But right now, I want to get into the conversation of Texas basketball team as they prepare to take on West Virginia this weekend, as they have trying to figure out how can they get this party started? Where do they need to be? And I got a chance to talk to Rodney Terry and Dylan Dessou, talk to Dylan Dessou about his improvement and how he continues to get better. But I got a chance to talk to Rodney Terry and ask him a question about looking backwards to go forwards. The question was basically about me asking him, what did he take from the loss against Texas Tech and implement against Cincinnati to get that W?
Well, I thought again, we've been doing a pretty good job up until that game of really valuing taking care of the basketball. I think, Texas Tech scored like 23 points off of our turnovers, and it wasn't really what they were doing as much as it was us, not valuing just taking care of the ball and making simple plays, and you can't do that in the Big 12. You can't beat yourself. You got to take care of the basketball. These are going to be possession games. You don't have to play perfect, but you just need to make simple plays, and just share the basketball and have a 0.5 mentality in terms of moving the ball and not letting it stick. So that was a takeaway for us in that game. As hard as it is to say sometimes, I thought that they beat us to 50-50 balls. We like to think that we're a team that tries to win that battle. They won that battle in that ball game, and the physicality piece, they were more physical than us in that game. So, I thought our guys answered the bell. I thought myself included. I thought that I didn't do a great job preparing our guys to be as physical as they needed to be heading into the opener. And I also thought that I took it upon myself to say that, hey, we're gonna get back to winning the 50-50 ball game as well, because I'm gonna do my part to make sure that we're tough enough to try to win that part of the game as well. And then just emphasizing how important it is to take care of the ball.
It's very important to take care of the basketball. In the game against Texas Tech, they turned it over quite a bit. And against Cincinnati. They didn't. And then you get a chance to get ready to go to West Virginia. Big matchup, important matchup. In this Big 12 conference, we've talked about it numerous times. And if you've been following anything about the Big 12 conference, you know this is one of the toughest conferences in America when it comes to basketball. People have a lot of respect for it. You start looking at all the teams that are involved in it, high rankings, whether the new team that came in was the University of Houston. They've already seen what it's like to have a Big 12 schedule going down and losing to Iowa State.
Yep.
Kansas got beat already this year, and it's a tough league to play in,
Yep.
and you have to be on your game every single night.
Yep.
And Dylan DeSue was asked as well about being back into the starting lineup, and the question was asked to Coach Terry, now that Dylan is back in the lineup, regardless if it was for an injury to Caden Cedric, is this the new move? And he said, Dylan is our starter. I mean, he's going to be in the lineup. His minutes now, he's not on a minutes restriction. So we're starting to see Dylan DeSue come back into form. And we'll continue the conversation about this because I want you to hear Dylan DeSue talk about how he continues to shoot the basketball well and the work that he's been able to put into it. We'll continue the conversation in the next hour. Hour 1 is in the books, and we are going to continue to talk about the playoffs, Nick Saban, his interview. Sark is staying. A lot of people aren't moving around. We'll be back right here on the Hard Knocks Life on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
AM 1300 The Zone is KVET Austin. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music. Free never sounded so good.
Okay. Oh, and man, you are loved
Welcome back to the Hard Knocks Life, hour number 2 of the Hard Knocks Life on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone. In the first hour, we talked a lot about Nick Saban, why he retired, and what I think is going to happen next with Nick Saban. We also talked about the Dallas Cowboys as they get ready to participate in the playoffs and how important is Dak Prescott to this team. We'll talk about it here in just a minute. But I want to continue the conversation about this Texas basketball team as they get ready to travel on the road to West Virginia, a team that you said, what, Salty? That they are what, 0-2?
They are 0-2 in conference play, 5-10 overall, and have a 3-game losing streak.
Let's make it 4 and get ready to go over there and beat them in Morgantown. There won't be any couch burnings going on, and I don't want them to be able to rush to court. So Texas go over there and handle their business. So Coach Terry met with the media, as did Dylan DeSue, and I was fortunate enough to be part of those conversations. And I got a chance to ask Dylan DeSue what has changed for him over the last couple of years, because of the fact that if you start looking at his numbers, they have gone up, and he kind of pinpoints where exactly that started and why he decided to start shooting the ball a little bit more.
I think the biggest thing for me, especially in the last year and a half, has just, or the last year, year and a month or so, it's just been the confidence and encouragement that RT has placed in me. There was workouts that I would be working out in the gym, and he'd stand up here, if y'all have been in the building, on the rail, and encourage me to continue to shoot the ball and be ready to shoot the ball in the game. And that was just before the Baylor game last year, and I had 24 points in that game, 3 for 4 from 3. So just little things like that. The other night, even after I missed my first 2 threes, he continued to encourage me, continued to tell me to shoot the ball, and that we want those shots and that I'm going to make those shots. And so just those things, that confidence that he has instilled in me has helped me to kind of return back to form, kind of give me the same level of confidence I had in my sophomore year at Vanderbilt, and being aggressive all the time.
Yeah, that's what you expect from Dylan DeSue. You want him to be aggressive. He's going to score buckets for you, and you're getting an open shot. That's the thing that frustrates me, because sometimes kids get told one thing and not explained why. But if you're one of the better shooters on the team, shoot the doggone basketball, man.
Be aggressive.
Yeah.
Be aggressive.
Especially when you're in the paint. There's no reason to kick the ball back out for a 3-point. You got the best shot right there. It's like Coach Terry said that during the interview. He said Dillon had to understand that the shot that you're taking is a better shot for our possession than you trying to make sure that you get the ball to somebody who won't take an open shot and will force a shot. So there's so much that is knowledgeable in those comments. And I appreciate the fact of what Dillon had to say and what Coach Terry said about Dillon, making sure that he takes the shot. So they will be playing against West Virginia. Craig Way will be on the call, as he always is. My man Craig Way doing his thing right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. Well, tomorrow we got NFL action coming up. In the next segment, I'll have Stan Norfleet joining us to talk about the Texans and the Browns matchup. But right now, I want to talk a little bit about the Dallas Cowboys and their matchup against the Green Bay Packers. Big matchup. Mike McCarthy dealing with pressure. Is it pressure or opportunity? He said, I don't know why people keep talking about pressure. I don't understand it, but it's an opportunity for us to go out there, set the tone, playing at home. Obviously, the fans are going to be involved. It's going to be a whiteout in Dallas. And the funny part about it is the question to start it off was about Dak Prescott. The way that they have decided to work together, the way that they've been able to call plays and work in sequence to make sure that they're synchronized, to make sure that they're making the right calls, and Dak being able to take control of the offense. And so he was asked, what is the relationship between you and Dak, and how has that grown since Dak has taken over?
He's always had very good command, as a quarterback playing the position. But his command of the offense, I think, is clearly, I feel is very high. Is higher than it's ever been. And there's a number of things going to that. Obviously, this thing was built for him based off of things he's done in the past. I'm talking particularly in the past game. We've expanded the protection part of it too. So he's just been given more tools to be successful, and he's done a phenomenal job implementing it.
Yeah, and that's what we've been waiting to see. That you saw the numbers. We talked about it. Dak said, I'm not going to throw that many interceptions, and he didn't. And that was last year was an off year. He was coming off an injury, still dealing with the hand deal. The line was terrible. No excuses. He turned the ball over. Let's just say that. So now we're back to this is the Dak that we're used to seeing. Yeah, this is the playoff Dak that we need to elevate his game. This is your opportunity to silence all the critics, Dak Prescott. This is your moment. So us on Monday, when we have our show, we're going to be singing your praises, or else we're going to bury you if you come up short. We also need to make sure that the defense plays at an elite level, because that's important for the Dallas Cowboys to succeed. Yeah, they've had some moments where they haven't been able to stop anybody. They've had some moments where Dallas will go down and score a touchdown to take the lead, and then the defense will give it up and they'll end up losing the game. And guess what? People want to blame Dak Prescott. But obviously, if you're not watching the game, you would, of course, blame Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I mean, that's typically the way it goes across all teams, but then you add that star on the helmet, right? And then it becomes a whole other situation blown out of proportion. And so, and again, same with clock management, right? I mean, when some people are blame Mike McCarthy. Some say, well, Dak is the one on the field. He's the quarterback. He's the one touching the ball. Shouldn't he be able to, and I think, again, that's a relationship between the coach and the quarterback to see just how much room they have between them. But yeah, I think Dak, this needs to be a bit of a coming out game for him, because the knock on him and the Cowboys in general, they don't get it done in the playoffs.
Yep.
So as Mike McCarthy said, take advantage.
Yeah, this is opportunity.
Opportunity.
Not pressure. Opportunity, not pressure. I believe it's the exact opposite of that. I think it's a lot of pressure on Mike McCarthy. Another person that there's going to be pressure on, because the rumors are this might be his last season with this team. And I know that I'm trying to get confirmation on this because it's kind of a crazy story, but Mike Tomlin might be walking away from the Pittsburgh Steelers. There's rumors that are floating out there that this might be the end of it, because I think a lot of people don't appreciate what Mike Tomlin has been able to do.
Absolutely, they do not.
17 seasons without a losing record. Of course, you definitely want to have people are looking at the end of the season, right? You want to make sure that this is where you are. And How are you playing? Do you even have a chance to get to the Super Bowl? You don't have a starting quarterback, number one. You thought it was Kenny Pickett. You've already proven that you don't believe in him because Kenny Pickett is back and you're still starting Mason Rudolph. It is a tough locker room, and the NFL is a tough job. It's what have you done for me lately, and a lot of fan bases don't appreciate what they have. Look, take a perfect example. We were talking about Mike McCarthy, 12-win season. If he loses in the first round, there's a strong possibility he may get let go, which I don't think it's true, but it's the conversation. They're talking about Bill Belichick, who's now a free agent. So there's a lot that needs to happen this weekend. But I'm interested, obviously, in the Dallas Cowboys. That's always going to be that. And I'm definitely interested to see what's going to happen with the Buffalo Bills and the Pittsburgh Steelers. You were talking about the weather and how miserable it's going to be in both that place and in Kansas City. But for me, I'm more worried about what's going to happen in the aftermath. What happens if Buffalo loses? Does Sean McDermott get fired? You've had
And
Josh
does Mike
Allen.
Tomlin decide, you know what, I'm going to ride this out
I'm going
a
to
little
ride
more?
this thing out and see what happens. I'll be back for one more year. But Nick Saban said, if you're thinking about leaving, go ahead and do it. Don't wait around because you're not going to go year to year. It's so much fun. But when we come back, we got Stan Norfleet talk about the Houston Texans taking on the Cleveland Browns as they're hosting the Cleveland Browns in H-Town. So let's go to H-Town. When we come back on the Hard Knocks Life on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. Longhorns basketball plays here.
Goes up strong reverse side. What a lay-in. Broccoli Hunter lobbing it in for Dylan Mitchell, who slams it down.
Eastman's drives left side, kicks to Sue, the finish.
Here goes Hunter behind the back pass. Into Weaver. Into lays it in. Oh, goodness. What a way to close out the first half.
Longhorns basketball plays here. Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Austin traffic powered by the Sandy Show on 103.1, Austin's 80 station.
FM 1327, right around Palmer Lane, we have an accident, a few minutes of brake tabs. I-35, the frontage road, northbound at William Cannon. Another collision with a few minutes of delays. I'm Ty Holt with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
It seems like everywhere you look right now, someone is sick. This year, prepare your family for airborne invaders like bacteria, pollen, and yes, germs with Navage Nasal Care. Navage flushes ultra-pure, refreshing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. Navage sucks out viruses, dust, and other airborne particles, all the stuff that gets trapped in your nose, making you miserable. Don't get caught empty-handed this winter. Get Navage, the drug-free solution that helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Even better, Navage is HSA, FSA eligible. So Navage is a great way to spend those funds before they expire. Don't wait a minute longer. Buy Navage today and you'll breathe easier knowing you're putting your funds to good use. Navage is available online at Navage.com or Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You're working really hard and you got a lot of pride. We're all in this together for a long, long ride. You can depend on us, we're tried and we're true. Henna Chevrolet, we'll always stand by you.
Henna Chevrolet has been an Austin original for over 80 years. And we've been treating customers right and saving them some serious money since the beginning. Come find new roads at HennaChevyAustin.com.
Mike Hardge here, and I want to talk to you about my friends over at Cover 3. I'm a regular at Cover 3, and you want to know why? Because their happy hour hits so hard Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m., and they have deals on shareables and drinks. Get to a Cover 3 near you.
iHeartRadio brings you New to View, Streaming Edition.
Looking for something to watch? Listen up. Next week on Netflix, Monday, the 9th season debut of the kids show Coco Melon. Next Tuesday on Netflix, it's the stand-up special Dusty Slay, Working Man. Next Wednesday, the premiere of the Netflix docuseries American Nightmare, based on a weird 2015 kidnapping case. Next Friday is the season 2 debut of the Netflix reality show Love on the Spectrum, as well as the Netflix futuristic British drama film The Kitchen. Next Tuesday on Hulu, the premiere of the new murder mystery series Death and Other Details, starring Mandy Patinkin and Violet Bean. Next Thursday on Max, the debut of the docuseries On the Roam with Jason Momoa, and the season 3 premiere of the comedy series Sort of. Next Friday on Hulu, the debut of the docuseries Cristobal Balenciaga, the story behind the fashion icon. Next Sunday on Paramount Plus and Showtime, the premiere of the new drama The Woman in the Wall, starring Ruth Wilson. Next Friday on Amazon Prime Video, the debut of the reality show Dance Life, the adult animated series Has Been Hotel, described as, quote, an R-rated animated musical comedy set in hell, end quote, as well as the new Spanish action drama series Zorro. And also next Friday over on Max, the 6th season premiere of Who's Talking to Chris Wallace.
And that's New to View on iHeartRadio. Happy binging!
The free iHeartRadio app is #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one. Discover a new podcast from our library of over 350,000 titles. Here's an iHeartRadio podcast preview.
I just realized that the first letter of every line of this review spells help me.
It seems like everyone's a critic these days, blessing the world with our slightest opinions, all on our own mini platforms.
I have another user review here. It's impossible to get into the lives of characters.
Nope, it's entirely possible. That's the profession of filmmaking.
I hate Batman! And the only thing we have left to criticize is criticism itself. I'm Scott Janovitz.
And I'm Greg Conley.
Citizen Critic, a podcast where we will critique the critics and review the reviews of everything from movies, music, and television to toasters, toiletries, and paint colors.
We'll hear from the experts.
Here's my review. Coldness and heartlessness are undermining today's suspense movies. The end. Don't go see it. 0 stars. As well as from all the citizen critics out there. So we loved our experience here because I read all the reviews beforehand and did not stay, eat dinner, or officially tour here. 5 stars. We'll find some useful tips. This is in German. Do not buy unless you speak German. As you can tell from this review, I speak English. I'm not German. Because we won the war. Well,
And some pretty useless tips.
oh, it has wall-to-wall profanity and vulgar language.
Can't you just make a movie about mobsters where they don't swear?
We'll uncover some startling truths. September 11th was still more than a week away.
He claiming Mr. Rogers had something to do with 9/11?
I think he's not claiming it. I think he's about to prove it, Greg. We'll go on a journey of self-discovery.
Night of the Comet is one of the greatest movies. Well, no, it's not, but I immediately back off that statement.
And confront our own shameful opinions.
Why should the pros who get, at least they get paid for it? I want to do this for free. Like my opinion on, what was that band that I really got out in front of?
The New Radicals.
The New Radicals. Yeah, I was like, I think this guy's like the next Stevie Wonder.
But mostly, it'll be a bunch of nonsense like this.
Yeah, use Bing.
Use Bing? Let me Bing it.
Yeah, I'm going to Bing this. Bing? Bing. Find Citizen Critic on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Join the voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way, each day from 2 to 5 p.m. for the Craig Way Show on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Welcome back to the Hard Knocks Life on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. If we're going to be tipping on fofos, there's only one way to do that, and that's headed down to H-Town, where you can go to the home of H-Town Sports over at Sports Talk 790. And if you're going to talk sports in H-Town, you got to go to the host of Next Up with Chris Gordy via Sports Talk 790 in H-Town. It's my man, Stan Norfleet. Stan, what's happening, brother?
Man, good morning, Austin. What's happening with you? Hardge, how y'all feel, man?
We good. The question is, how y'all feeling down in H-Town the last time that you had an opportunity to take on the Cleveland Browns? It didn't go that well, but you were missing a bunch of key personnel that in that matchup was not on the field. Well, now you get a chance to get everybody back on the field, except for Tank Dell. We understand that. But what are your thoughts heading into this weekend?
Well, there's reason for optimism. Looking at the injury report yesterday over at NRG Stadium off Kirby Drive in Houston, they get back pass rusher, a leading factor for the Houston Texans with 12.5. Jonathan Grenard returns for this lineup. He's been out the last 3 games. We know that the last time these two teams played, Will Anderson Jr. did not go. He had an ankle injury as well. And then former AFC Defensive Player of the Week linebacker Blake Cashman early in the season, but still he was awarded the nomination. He returns to this matchup, and of course, C.J. Stroud. So you add 3 starters plus a quarterback that is an MVP candidate, or at least was prior to going out those 2 games with a concussion, and there is reason for optimism in Houston. I remind the listeners, the Texans are 5-1 all-time games played on Saturday. That's a good thing, including 4-2 in the comfortable confines of NRG. C.J. Stroud, 7-3 this season, obviously, versus team with winning records. They got a chance, Hardge.
They got a chance.
Stan, you talk about that optimism, and obviously this team for the past several years, there's been a lot of downs more than ups, and even this season had its ups and downs with injuries and losses that maybe shouldn't have taken place. But now you're in the playoffs, you're hosting a game against the Browns. Hopefully fans will fill the stands. So talk to us a little bit more about that optimism, especially looking ahead at next season and the next few seasons with a guy like C.J. Stroud at the helm for the Texans.
Oh, well, I think that's best served by this statistic. You might have seen it coming off the Week 18 win over Indianapolis Colts. C.J. Stroud, D'Amico Ryans, the first rookie head coach quarterback duo to win the division history of the league. I'm seeing something here. You guys are gonna get a kick out of this as soon as I find it. Oh, why can't I find it when I'm looking for it? Here we go. It's something like, here we go. This marks the 34th consecutive season at least one team made the playoffs that didn't make it the previous year.
34
This
straight?
year is the Houston Texans. 34 consecutive years.
Wow.
So if to answer your question, if you believe in karma, I don't necessarily believe in luck. I believe in favor. I believe in blessings from above. It looks like this thing is lining up not just for this year, but for years to come. The Texans have the 3rd most salary cap space. They have, ironically, Cleveland's #1 pick this year, given the Deshaun Watson trade. Now, obviously, the Texans gave up their own first-round pick for Will Anderson Jr. He has 7 sacks on the season, which is a franchise rookie record in sacks, surpassing the likes of J.J. Watt and others. Bernard McKinley comes a chance, Jadeveon Clowney, some of those other players that have played here in Houston. So the future is extremely bright. Nick Caserio, the rumors that he's going back to New England, he quelched that this week. Caserio, the general manager of the Texans, staying here. Alabama, hands off my bleeping ball coach, Nico Ryan. His wife is from H-Town. He met his wife here as a player. Things are going well. D'Amico Ryan told Alabama, no. He's going to stay right here in Houston. So it's all about really those two, Caserio, D'Amico Ryans, the culture he's implemented. But when you have C.J. Stroud, who many thought the Texans, quite frankly, were in a little bit of a conundrum, given that Bryce Young was going to likely be off the board. I think it's clear we can say after one season, one regular season it is, C.J. Stroud of this crop, and many are saying going all the way back to the 2020 quarterback class, C.J. Stroud is the belle of the ball in that regard. I challenge you. You guys tell me, how many other quarterbacks in the league right now would you take over C.J. Stroud? I've got about 5, maybe 6.
Yeah, and I'm in that category, but the upside is everything to me, because a lot of the guys that you're going to take have been in the league for a while. There's no new crop of quarterbacks that you would look at and say, "Oh yeah, I think he's going to be better than CJ Stroud." No, because the roof is still open for him, because there is no ceiling for this young man. I love the way he plays. We're talking to Stan Norfleet. You can make sure you follow him at Stan Sportsman on Twitter, because he's going to keep you up to date on everything that is happening in H-Town, and he's part of the iHeart family, so you can download and listen to him, obviously, after you listen to us. That's how we get down in the air. You know how we do. You know how we do. I wanted to ask you this, because, you brought up the D'Amico Ryan's situation about who he is, first, rookie coach to go and win a division. That's an exciting part of it. But what else is that people don't know about this organization, the people that he's brought in, the play callers? Everything seems to be in the right place for this team, especially going into this weekend. What are your true thoughts and expectations of this team this weekend? But more importantly, what pieces are on that back end is going to be able to stop Amari Cooper this time?
Yeah, Cooper had a big day. I'll start there. He had a single game record. Yes. I believe that to be 264 yards receiving versus the Houston Texans Christmas Eve over here in NRG. Look, Joe Flacco is in the rhythm. No question about that. Joe Flacco is 4-1 as a starter. Yep. These 5 regular season games that he's played, being in that West Coast offense, a very comparable offense to what the Texans run here. It's all based on Kyle Shanahan and Greg Kubiak. Or Gary Kubiak, excuse me. So, look, I don't expect that Coop is going to have a historic performance like that again. I'm still a little salty that Dallas let him go. I think they'd be much better off if Coop was in Dallas with CeeDee Lamb and they'd have 2 number ones, but I digress. I don't think the offense is potent enough from Cleveland to consistently attack down the field. Like I know, the West Coast is predicated on the play action pass. So they really want to try and get Kareem Hunt and Jerome Ford going in the run game. Joe Flacco grew up in this West Coast system. They're going to play action, and then Joe Flacco's arm is still plenty strong enough to push the ball down the field. Now, they don't have a ton of guys that would be recognizable household names from the wide receiver position. They do have a tight end that makes me nervous. He's a first-time Pro Bowler. David Njoku is a real dude, former first-round pick out of the University of Miami. The Texans have struggled this year with tight ends and wide receivers in that middle of the field area. So I am curious to see what happens there. Now, it's really based on what D'Amico wants to do. D'Amico doesn't like to blitz a lot. The Texans are one of the least blitzing teams in the entire league. That's his blueprint from what he ran in San Francisco. Clearly different personnel than when he was the defensive coordinator for the 49ers. Will he play too high? Will he play some man free with a single safety in the middle of the field, trying to get somebody else down in the box? Will he finally allow Derek Stingley Jr., who yesterday was tabbed AFC Defensive Player of the Month? So I don't give a bleep that everybody keeps talking about Sauce Gardner in New York. The best young corner in the league is my man Derek Stingley, who has some 5 interceptions on the year, and at one span he had 4 in 3 games. Will D'Amico allow Stingley to travel with Amari Cooper as opposed to staying on their respective sides opposite of Steven Nelson? That remains to be seen. Lastly, you ask about D'Amico and the culture.
Yeah.
D'Amico is the definition of a leader. He is well respected by the players in that locker room. He clearly, being a former player, former defensive rookie of the year, former Pro Bowler, still looks like he can play. Brother looks good.
Yep.
They respect that he consistently puts them in position to make the plays. He doesn't sugarcoat it. He's 100% real talk, and he brought one of his boys along with him. Bobby Slowick, offensive coordinator. He was the passing game coordinator in San Francisco a season ago. Bobby Slowick getting called from 4 different teams in the league, the Titans, the Falcons, the Panthers, the Commanders. Everybody wants to talk to Bobby Slowick. Hands off my bleeping offensive coordinator. Why won't people leave my coaches alone, Hart?
Hey, it's about time that they start going for you coaches, because the other way they was letting them go and nothing was happening. So this is a good problem to have. When they start coming for you coaches, You're doing a really good job. You're listening to the Hardge Knocks Life on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone, and my man Stan Norfleet. You can listen to him on Sports Talk 790 AM in Houston for all things Houston. Okay, I wanted to ask you this because there's a lot of changes that have been happening throughout the NFL and college football. Obviously, coaches are being let go. There's rumors and innuendos. You just brought up D'Amico Ryans, Alabama, and Slovic with all these other teams. A position was just filled just a little while ago. Gerard Mayo is now being named the head coach of the New England Patriots, according to all reports. How excited are you to hear that, or does it even really matter to you? But, of course, you're looking across the NFL and seeing – I thought Mike Vrabel was getting that job, but I guess it didn't work out that way.
Yeah, Vrabel would have been a likely candidate just given his connection to the organization, and that would have made some sense. But from what I understand, Gerard Mayo, it was actually written into Bill Belichick's last contract that Mayo would be the successor. There were a lot of other rumors and scuttlebutt. Again, Texans general manager Nick Caserio, would he come back to New England and be their general manager? Everybody's trying to pull from Houston to go back to your previous point. But no, I'm extremely happy for Gerard Mayo, a former linebacker, longtime New England Patriot as a player. He understands the Patriot way. But similar to D'Amico, I think that these are guys that were raised and birthed in the old school fires of the NFL, but they're not so resolute that they won't pivot and embrace some of the modern and contemporary philosophies of how you go about orchestrating and carrying out the mission of today's NFL football team. Now, I'm going to add this component as well. I'm always excited, given the histrionics surrounding people of color at the quarterback position and most certainly at the head coach position. I'm going to do a deep dive on that on my show today. So I'm happy for the young brother. I hope that the New England area supports him. He's one of his own. Let's see who they bring in to be a GM. But I'm extremely excited for Mayo. And so one less coaching vacancy to fill.
I like that. I like the point that you put on about people of our color that are getting those opportunities. I'm going to let you go with this, Stan. Your prediction for the game tomorrow. I know you got people that are going to be listening to your show. Make sure you tune in and check out my man, Stan Norfleet. Make sure you tune in to Sports Talk 790. And make sure you listen to him because he always brings the truth. So what are your thoughts on the game this weekend?
Yeah. We're coming up at 10 a.m. We'll be 10 a.m. to noon. My radio partner, Chris Gordy, and I over there at Sports Talk 790. All right. So listen, man, I'm a man of faith, and I also respect that not everybody's religion and spiritual beliefs are in alignment with mine. And I can respect that. It's America. You're free to do what you want to do. But if you listen to C.J. Stroud take that podium, and if you listen to D'Amico Ryans in front of the media, there's something special happening with this team this year. I also look at the way they played at home. They knocked off some good defenses here at NRG. They beat the Steelers early in the year. They beat the Saints early in the year. They beat Tampa early in the year. There's something going on with these guys. Now, some people don't get all into the superstitious and the spiritual component. I do. I'm going to choose the Texans because they are at home, because I believe that much in C.J. Stroud, because they get weapons back that they haven't had over the last 3 weeks. Noah Brown at wide receiver. You mentioned Robert Woods. He's played in the Super Bowl. He comes off the injured reserve list as well, or off the injury report, rather. So this is as healthy as this squad has been. We also know it is difficult if you're Cleveland to beat a team twice, especially twice in 3 weeks. There's something about D'Amico, who for me is my NFL coach of the year, given everything and how bad it was around here the previous 3 years. With a rookie quarterback, with the rookie play caller. I respect Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco's got 13 touchdowns, but the Browns also have the most turnovers over the last 5 weeks in the NFL with 12. I'm picking the Texans in a close.
There it is. My man, Stan Norfleet. Make sure you get over and follow him at Sports Stan right now, or Stan Sports Man on Twitter. Thanks, Stan. I appreciate you, brother.
Hey, I'm glad that y'all doing well. I thought y'all was about to lose Spark. I was going to have to call and console you, brother.
Appreciate you, dog. I'll talk to you soon. There he is.
All right, bro.
We'll be back with the Hardge Knocks Life on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Hey there, Texas fans. This is the voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way, inviting you to join us for this year's edition of Longhorn Basketball. We'll bring you all the action all season long, including in-depth analysis and exclusive access to players and coaches before the opening tip and after the final whistle. And every week, we'll talk with Texas head coach Rodney Terry on Longhorn Weekly, live from Pluckers, the West Campus location in Austin. This is your exclusive source for Texas basketball.
Texas basketball plays here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Austin traffic powered by the Sandy Show on 103.1, Austin's 80 station.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Print Big Sale means the more you print, the more you save. Get $20 off your print purchase of $100 or more, $50 off your print purchase of $200 or more, and $100 off your print purchase of $300 or more. Ends 2/10/24. See staples.com/print for details. Print more, save more at Staples.
We all make resolutions this time of year. And let's face it, most of them won't stick. But here's one that's not only easy to keep, but will help you feel healthier all year long. Navage. Navage provides quick, drug-free nasal relief by washing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. This time of year, when everyone is sick, Navage helps by sucking out germs, bacteria, and viruses trapped in our noses that cause us to feel miserable. And come allergy season, it does the same with dust, pollen, and other allergens. And unlike medications that can take time to help, if they're effective at all, Navage helps treat congestion symptoms in seconds flat, without drugs. This New Year's, resolve to use drug-free Navage to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all year long. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
You're working really hard and you got a lot of pride. We're all in this together for a long, long ride. You can depend on us, we're tried and we're true. In a Chevrolet, we'll always stand by you.
You won't find us trying to upsell you or confuse you with financial lingo. Our number one goal is your 100% satisfaction. For a better experience, you'll find new roads at HennaChevyAustin.com.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-659-8080. That's 1-800-659-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-659-8080. That's 1-800-659-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Your Austin area weather calling for a mix of sun and clouds with gusty winds diminishing during the afternoon. We'll see a morning high of 63 degrees with temperatures falling to near 50. Tonight's low 34.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
The films, the stars, the milestones, the awards. Here's Big Sue with the Week in Hollywood History.
January 8th, 1993.
Writer and director Robert Rodriguez's debut feature, El Mariachi, premieres at the Toronto Film Festival. With an initial budget of under $8,000, it becomes the least expensive film ever to gross over $1 million in the U.S.
January 9th, 1894.
The 5-second short Fred Ott's Sneeze is released. It was produced by Thomas Edison Studio to demonstrate the capabilities of its motion picture technology and is the oldest surviving film that carried a copyright.
January 11th, 1927.
The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences is founded at a formal banquet in Hollywood. Originally intended to mediate disputes and boost the image of the film industry, it's now best known as the governing body for the Oscars.
January 13th, 1928.
General Electric and RCA demonstrate the first home television receivers in Schenectady, New York, providing an unsteady picture over a 1.5 square inch screen.
January 14th, 1972.
Sanford & Son debuts, the first American comedy with a predominantly black cast in nearly 2 decades. It ranked in the top 10 for its first 5 seasons, only leaving the air when star Red Fox left for his own variety show in 1977.
And that's the Week in Hollywood History on iHeartRadio.
The free iHeartRadio app is #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one. Discover a new podcast from our library of over 350,000 titles. Here's an iHeartRadio podcast preview.
There was a murder in central Ohio that many people still don't want to talk about. The man who committed that crime once sat on death row, but now he's on the run. His name is Lester Eubanks. Lester didn't tunnel out of prison or scale a stone wall. On a December morning in 1973, he and a small group of inmates were granted permission to walk outside prison walls. His handcuffs were taken off. He changed into civilian clothing, and he and 3 others were driven to a local mall. They were told they could wander the stores and were asked to return to a designated meeting spot. Hours later, all the inmates came back, except Lester Eubanks, and he hasn't been seen since.
He had a full plan. The guy had a plan.
I was just astounded that this could actually happen.
There were many years when it seemed like no one was even looking for Lester, but recently, his whereabouts have become the focus of the U.S. Marshal Service, the federal agents who track fugitives. The case is testing the marshals.
Those 9 lives are running out, and we're going to catch up with Lester.
And is being urged on by those hurt most by Lester's crime.
He's had enough free time. He confessed to the crime, and his time is up.
I'm Sunny Hostin with ABC News. Over the past year, a team from the ABC News investigative unit joined the search for Lester Eubanks. They uncovered new leads, possible sightings, and at every turn found resistance from those who want Lester Eubanks to be forgotten. What they've uncovered is a case that's about more than murder. It's about family loyalty, a life on the run, and a first-hand look at how the U.S. Marshals are trying to solve one of the oldest fugitive cases in American history. Now they may be closer than ever. From ABC News.
Have you seen this man?
Have you seen this man?
Wondering if you have seen this man.
Have you seen this man?
Listen and follow this podcast for free on the iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one.
It's the Craig Way Show with Craig Way and Cameron Parker. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
All the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the
Welcome
single
back to the
ladies,
Hard Knocks Life on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. Special shout out to my man Stan Northleaf, who came on and did a great job of previewing the Houston Texans getting ready for the Cleveland Browns tomorrow. 3:30, big time. We're getting excited about it. But as always, you get excited at this time of the day because the one and only, Shannon B. Sweeney with her salty shakedown. Shannon, take it away.
Hardge, we're going to start in the world of media. Listen, Pat McAfee has caused quite the stir here in just recent week and a half or so, whether it's calling out the head of his company live on his show, whether it's having one Aaron Rodgers call out other talk show hosts for maybe or maybe not appearing on certain lists. Well, earlier in the week when Aaron appeared on the show, they kind of talked it out a little bit, but then the following day, Pat McAfee made the announcement that Aaron Rodgers was done on the show for the season. And it seemed like that was kind of going to be the end of it. As far, maybe the head honchos over at the 4-letter network said, you know what? We're not gonna. You've been in a lot of gotten us in a lot of trouble. You've been in a lot of trouble. It's just best that we don't have him on your show. And maybe he abided. But if so, for only a day, because yesterday Aaron Rodgers reappeared back on the show with his little bookcase background, and his little headphones, and he was back at it. And I get it. Like, that is a big get for the Pat McAfee show, because Aaron Rodgers is not a guy who enjoys talking to the media. Remember, RELAX. Relax. And so it is a scoop to have Aaron Rodgers on, but it's more of a scoop when he's actually playing football, when he's actually part of a team, when he's part of a successful team. He really hasn't played at all for the Jets, and who knows, now the Jets may be thinking, do we even want Aaron Rodgers to be part of this roster? But when you saw that come out yesterday, Hardge, that Aaron was back, what's your take on this relationship with Rodgers, McAfee, and them just trying to, I guess at this point, go viral as often as they can?
Well, maybe it was more of, well, he's not going to come on Tuesdays anymore. He's done. Maybe he's moving to Thursdays. Maybe that was their whole setup.
Psych.
Yeah, maybe that's what it's all about. I mean, look, I'm not much for the McAfee show, just because I don't have time to deal with screaming and all the nonsense that goes along with it. Hey, I'm not mad at anybody else. So let's go from there. But everything else, I'm cool with. Whatever, man. If that's what you want to see is him, then check him out.
Yeah, that show is quickly becoming the Pat McAfee and Aaron Rodgers show, more than the Pat McAfee show. But we'll see if anything else crazy is said as those two continue to be on air together. Moving over to the NBA, Hardge. Rumor has it the NBA is preparing to make their draft into a 2-day event. And I get it, right? They are the little brother to the NFL, and the NFL obviously has an entire weekend to themselves when it comes to the draft. And it's now being reported that they are trying to finalize this deal for a June 26th, 27th draft in Brooklyn. That was a Woj bomb reported yesterday, and that the backing behind this is, look, we have the opportunity to get more money out of TV streaming opportunities.
Yep.
Holding the broadcast, and that overall it'll be better for the teams. They will have more time to make decisions, to make trades, to trade up in the draft, to trade for certain players who, but all this, that, and the other. But do you see this ever reaching the point, or anywhere near at the point, that the NFL draft has become? Because the NFL draft is not just something you flip on your TV. That is something people attend. That is a weekend trip that people have made out of it, especially since they've been moving it around to different places. It has become an occasion. It has become the affair you hope and want to go to during that time when there is no football on TV. That is your taste that you get. Now, the NBA draft being in June, usually still some basketball to be played at that point. Yeah. I don't know that people crave it as much as they crave football when it comes to the NFL draft. But your thoughts on this potential 2-day format that the NBA seems to be heading to?
Nobody's really excited about an NBA basketball draft, except for if you're going in the first round, obviously.
Yep.
Okay. So you're going to have 2 rounds of the NBA draft. You don't go deeper than that. So it's not one of those deals. You can get it all done in a day, to be quite honest with you.
Yep.
So no, I'm not a big fan of it. Hell, you don't even watch it until December after Christmas.
That's
So
right.
You'll be done with it by then. You've already moved on to baseball or something like that. So no, I'm not looking at it and being excited about a 2-day draft in the NBA.
Well, part of it too is that they're looking to create more packages around the players, right? In these little videos, where they came from, where they're going, the struggles they've been through, the highs, the lows, all of that you also see with the NFL draft. But like you said, we really only care about the first round, whereas in the NFL draft, you care about the other rounds as well. You care about Mr. Irrelevant and his story package. But in the NBA, if you're not a first rounder, I don't care. I don't care about yours.
Yeah, well, a lot of people don't pay attention past the first round either.
So if they do get that locked in, they do have that second day. I don't see the broadcast having the great numbers that they hope to have on day 2. Finally, Hardge, I just got to get this off my, and I want people to know this is a bit of a PSA.
Oh, here we go.
It is January 12th. You and I drive in quite early in the mornings. It's still dark out, which means a lot of people still have their lights on. But a lot of people's lights are still Christmas lights, Hardge.
Oh.
And on top of that, I know those 12-foot skeletons are like all the rage.
Ooh.
And just because you got one, that does not mean you need to showcase it through January. I don't care that you put a turkey next to it on Thanksgiving. I don't care that you put a Santa Claus hat on it, maybe put some ornaments around it, or have it dressed up in a snow suit for the December and January months. It's not my fault you bought a 12-foot skeleton and now don't have anywhere to put it in your house after the fact. Take it down. Yeah. I know a lot of neighborhoods are like, I've got an HOA and it is what it is. Like there's good and bad that comes with it.
Absolutely.
But all these people that don't have HOAs, that don't have people that can say, hey, no more. It's time for that to go. Have some self-respect. Have some respect for your neighbors. This is but I just want to like go burn it. I just want to like knock it. I just want to take an arm. I just want to like make it not useful anymore. I sound
like that dude from Alabama.
I find it so annoying, Hardge. I don't know if you are. I mean, you took down your Christmas decorations.
Yes, and I wanted to do it that day. Like as soon as you got your presents, I wanted to take it down, but I was overruled. And then, of course, you get busy. So you got all kinds of life that's happening. Mm-hmm. So it just sits there and it sits there. And then I'm like, okay, it's time for us to take this down. Yeah. And so I started by just getting the box down and saying, all right, we're about to put this up. Sorry. And we went all in and got it done.
After January 1st, it's over.
Yes.
You got 10 months until Halloween.
Where are you at? Where are you at with Happy New Year?
What about it?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year decoration.
When you see people.
Oh, if it's my first time seeing them within the first 2 weeks of the new year, sure.
2 weeks?
But if I haven't seen you and then it's like March, don't tell me that.
Yeah. That's where I'm at.
No longer
I'm at that
friends.
now. I'm at that now.
Yeah. 2 weeks. I mean, when 12, two more days.
Yeah.
You get 2 more days and then you tell me Happy New Year. I'm going to say, okay.
That's a good salty shakedown. I love it. In fact, put up your ornaments, put up your skeletons. Matter of fact, put them in the closet. Put your skeletons in the closet. That's where they deserve to stay. When we come back, we'll wrap up the show and we'll send you over to Dan Patrick. But we got a lot more to preview as the weekend for the wild card starts tomorrow. Right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. Longhorns basketball plays here.
Tyrese Hunter operates the dribble on the right side, and he'll lob it in to Keaton Shedrick for a slam dunk. Hunter drives in and slams it down. Missed that off the sidearm. Brock Cunningham hustles for the offensive rebound. Brock holds it now to a cutting Asmus who races in to score off the glass. Into the front court, Asmus for the right side. He wants a third three. Why not?
Longhorns basketball plays here. Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Austin traffic powered by the Sandy Show on 103.1, Austin's 80 station.
I-35 northbound at Slaughter Creek Overpass, an accident reported for an 8-minute delay. 360 southbound at Great Hills Trail, another collision with emergency crews on scene. I'm Ty Holt with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Hey, Central Texas, it's Mike Hardge here. And folks, if you're in the market for a vehicle, let us tell you about the legends at Covert Chevy in Hutto. The Coverts have been around since 1909. So when it comes to trucks in Texas, they know their stuff. Covert Hutto is more than a dealership. It's a community partner. They've been giving back since day one. So when you buy from a Covert, you're not just getting a great ride, you're supporting the heart of Texas. Now it's time to rev up your drive and head over to covertchevyhutto.com or swing by 1200 US 79 in Hutto, Texas. Covert Chevy in Hutto, where tradition meets the open road.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window, and we would like to manufacture and install your windows. Every single New South window is custom manufactured just for your home. Now you can buy 2 windows and get the third absolutely free.
Call 1-800-NEW-WINDOWS or visit newsouthwindow.com.
Remember, when you're ready to sell or trade in your next car, go to givemethevin.com, because one thing's for certain, I love to buy cars.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
When it comes to football, there's no better place to raise your team's spirits than at Specs. Specs has you covered from end zone to end zone with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From beer, spirits, and wine to chips and dips. Specs is your one-stop shop to come out on top with the biggest score of the game. Because when it's football season at Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
You want to talk about a 5-tool player? Well, Sleep Number is a 5-tool bed, maybe even more than that. It does everything for you. Temperature benefits, adjustable firmness on each side. You stay sleeping longer, deeper, and you get your Sleep Number setting. Mine's 75. Ask about Sleep IQ technology. They've got it all the answers. They're waiting for you to ask the questions. I mentioned that temperature benefits, too hot or too cold. They can help you with that. Adjustable firmness, 2 beds in one. So perfect bed for couples. And the ability to stay sleeping comfortably all night long. Amazing after a long workout. And the beds learn how you sleep to give you personalized insights to making it even better. And make sure you don't miss Sleep Number's New Year's savings event. The Queen Sleep Number C2 Smart Bed is now only $990 for a limited time. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii, only at Sleep Number stores or sleepnumber.com/Patrick. Sleep Number, the official sleep and wellness partner of the National Football League.
Oh, not this song again.
Hello, Sarah. Real quick, if you had to choose, would you listen to elevator music all day or deal with payroll compliance?
Oh, payroll compliance for sure.
Wait, really?
Staying compliant is so much easier with Gusto. Gusto automatically calculates my taxes and files with all the right agencies for me.
That actually sounds great.
Hold up, can Gusto help my small business with compliance too?
Of course they can.
Choose payroll compliance without the ups and downs. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like Alternative Rewind, where alt rock began. R.E.M., The Cure, Depeche Mode, Pretenders, Talking Heads, and more. Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search Alternative Rewind, and listen now. Try something new for 2024. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
If you like true crime, check out the new podcast, Good Assassins, Hunting the Butcher. Part spy story, part detective case, it's the true tale of a secret mission to hunt down a savage Nazi murderer and assassinate him. Delving deeply into the pulse-pounding undercover operation. Listen to Good Assassins, Hunting the Butcher on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. Join the hunt.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone presents the Craig Way Show. Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. only on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to the Hard Knocks Life on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. We had a great day today. Shout out to my man Stan Norfleet letting us know what's going down in H-Town, and we want to let you know what's going down. And we've been continuing to vote for our Covert Huddle Best Play of the Week, and right now it is Bijan Robinson's big catch against the Saints, the 71-yarder. This poll will be open for all day. But as of right now, Bijan is the winner. Max Asmus comes in second with his game winner, and Wemby getting his triple-double comes in third. Salty, we got a bunch of matchups that we got to get into. Texas basketball will be taking on West Virginia, 6 o'clock. You can listen to it right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. You got a programming note for tomorrow for the Houston Texan fans that are used to listening to the Houston Texans play on AM 1300 The Zone. They are now where?
Yes, they'll be over on Alt 97.5, same station that you can hear Austin FC all season long. They've just got to be over there because we've got Texas basketball.
There we go. So we're headed into the weekend. We got these games, and I got some questions for you. I want your predictions, Salty. We got to live with it. Cowboy, well, we'll start with the Texans. Texans and Browns. The Browns are a 2-point favorite against the Houston Texans. Who are you taking?
Oh, I want to take the home team. I want to take I want
You
to
going with
take the
Houston?
Texans. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know,
That's where I'm going to. I'm taking the Texans. Come on, Texans.
just the
D'Amico and
they lost to the Bengals 31-14 last week. Joe
Yep.
Flacco looking sad on the sidelines. I think they're
he
trending in
didn't play.
opposite
He didn't play,
directions.
though.
Yeah,
He didn't play.
but still.
Driscoll. Yeah. So we're going to go there. You got them. All right. I got the Texans as well. Steelers and Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Yep. I knew
Bills
you was going to
Mafia.
ride with the Bills, and I'm with you. But that's a big line, and I think that the Steelers cover that line,
Mhm.
but the Bills will win the game. I got the Kansas City Chiefs and Miami Dolphins. Who you got? The Chiefs are favored by 4.5.
Chiefs.
Yep. KC.
On that weather.
I
Sorry,
see
Miami.
We're on the same page there. Rams and Lions.
I think it's Jared Goff's time. I think it's the Lions' time.
Okay, you taking the Lions? I'm taking the Rams.
Okay.
First one that we have different.
All right.
I like that one. And then, of course, the Cowboys and the Packers on Sunday afternoon. I think we know where you're going with
I
that.
don't wear this hoodie just because it's pretty hard.
I'm with you with the Cowboys. We'll talk about Monday night's game as we talk about the Buccaneers and the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll talk about that on Monday because it is a Monday night game. So when we come here on Monday, we want to make sure that it's the Houston Texans with the victory, the Buffalo Bills, Kansas City Chiefs. You're the Lions, I'm the Rams, and of course the Cowboys. That would be our one difference. What do you think about the Texas Longhorn men's basketball team this weekend? Yeah. Are they going to be playing at that high level that we expect them to be playing at?
I certainly hope so. I think they're obviously getting that win over Cincinnati was huge, and they're obviously going to play a team that's down in the dumps. I hope they don't view that as a walk in the park, that those can always be considered trap games, but I think it'll be great. I just hope they make it home safely because it is a Saturday night game, and I kind of know Sunday is when the weather's going to be rolling in, so hopefully they make it out of West Virginia, no problem.
No doubt about it. And, of course, the women play against K-State at K-State. It'll be on ESPNU. Coach Vic Schaefer's doing a great job, as always. And you too, Salty. Everybody that tunes in has been doing a great job, and we appreciate y'all tuning in with us. Just remember, we are on Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 a.m., right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. And remember this, don't believe everything you see, because even salt looks like sugar. Peace.
AM 1300 The Zone is KVET Austin.